Hi, I'm Jasmine Mapledorham. I'm the NHS Partnership Executive for Greater Manchester Area ACES. I joined ACES early 2022. I previously worked as a clinic manager, so jumping over to the NHS side of things was something I was really keen to do and get involved with. And ACES was just kind of taking off, so I was keen to get my foot in the door.
I'm Bilal Ahmed. I'm the Division Director for ACES, looking after the South East. I've been with ACES since the start, and when it was just based in East Anglia, Wisbech, Fakenham and Thetford. I worked with the legacy team, people who built this ACES brand, and then transitioning into the other parts of the UK, in Dartford, Chelmsford, Nottingham, Milton Keynes, Birmingham.
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm the NHS Partnership Executive for Anglia. The clinics that I cover are Wisbech, Fakenham and Thetford. And I've been with ACES now for 16 months, and it's been an amazing learning curve. We've gone from strength to strength since I actually started in August 2023. I'm passionate about optics. As I say, I've been in optics since 2000, all based in Norfolk, so I know the optical community there well. And when I was approached with the view to coming on board with ACES, I jumped at the chance.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Stitchbury and I am the NHS Partnership Executive for Liverpool. I have been with ACES now for 4 to 5 weeks. I currently worked for a healthcare competitor doing a similar role. My background was always about building relationships, and that was the most important thing.
Hi, my name is Fernanda. I am the NHS Partnership for ACES in Dartford, and I cover the area of Kent and Medway and South East London.
My name is Aaron. I am the Divisional Support Manager for Division 2. It's an area mainly within the south and southeast sort of thing, so we run from Reading, Milton Keynes, Maidstone, areas such as that, and we've got quite an eclectic mix from the ACES offers that we have, depending on the clinic. We've got the surgery centres as well as the spokes, but we also have a lot of the ACES surgeries and the pre-assessments, the glaucoma, the YAGs. So there's a lot of operational work that goes into ensuring that all the patients are seen in the most effective way in all the clinics that we have. So there's quite a large demographic of people that we deal with. I've been with ACES since the beginning of my experience here. I've been in optics for 30 years.
So I've taken a lot from the ACES conference while being here. A lot of the clinical knowledge that we've gained from our clinical directors and optometrists that work for us has been really valuable, so a lot to take away.
I'm a great believer that if you like someone and have a personal relationship with someone, you will undoubtedly work harder for them and better for them. And I suppose more importantly, when you think how much time David, the chairman and the CEO, has spent with us over these 2 days. That's not something you would normally expect from a company. And by giving us his time, he's showing, I think you're worth it, basically. And if he thinks I'm worth it, then I am worth it. And will I not then go the extra mile for him? Now he's come here and given us 2 days of his time.
So I'm here for a 2-day conference, which has been great, getting to meet all the team, because obviously we only see each other via Teams. A big part of the conference with me is obviously best practice, learning from each other, networking and finding out what's working for other people in areas, I suppose. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of strategies for 2025 that are really exciting and I'm happy to be a part of.
So firstly, it was really exciting to be in this iconic building. I think this is the most iconic building on this street. And having everyone here is, for me, was to learn more from people, what their challenges are in the ground, what the National Partnership Executive are struggling with, how can we help support them to do their job better, but also to learn from them and find out what things we can do differently and think outside the box. It was more of an open forum to give us some ideas. What do? You do differently. What works in Lincoln? What works in Liverpool? I've not tried it in Exeter. Should we give it a go? So it was more of a brainstorming activity, but then also let's take everything that can be used in every little location.
Whenever we come to these kind of conferences, one of my favourite things is you've got so many different people from different demographic areas, different solutions to different problems. And I've always found that when you're in your area, you only get to see your own problems. And you don't always have the solutions to those problems. But whenever we come together as a group, you often find that other people have similar problems, or even the answers to your problems and vice versa. So that communal joining of everybody's experiences can mean that you go away from it looking at things from a very different perspective.
I think the conference was really important for me and everyone else to actually identify where we are, where we want to be. And I think it's about designing our way forward and making sure that we take people with us. Because, looking at all these people here, it was exciting to see, the ones from Newcastle and Manchester and Nottingham and Dartford in my division as well, making so much of a difference in their local community. But I think it was more of a reset, let's get everyone on the same page, for them to understand where we want to be and how we're going to get there. But more about providing the support, but then also equipping them with the right information which will help them to go into these practices, talking to these optometrists about what exactly we do and why we're different.
When I came over to see ACES, I had the approach of, let me see, is ACES the right fit for me? As well as, am I the right fit for ACES? Let me come and look at the clinic. My first impression of the clinic was, wow. I was like, how is this NHS? When you come and visit, you'd say, you get the feel of the clinic as soon as you walk in. The staff are warming, the clinics are just stunning. Everybody's just got the same, goal at the end of the day, and it's just patient care, whether that be private or NHS, and that makes me tick.
From a refractive surgery perspective, it was definitely a personal thing. Being very short-sighted from a very young age, when I had laser surgery, I found that it was simply the better way to correct vision. I couldn't sell glasses anymore, so as a dispensing optician, when I've been trained fundamentally in glasses being the primary solution for people to correct their vision, I had first-hand experience that is not the best way. So after I had the laser surgery, it was one of the first things I did. I quit and came and worked for these guys, and I've been doing it ever since.
In terms of referrals, my clinic's completely new. I've got lots of great connections with the GP world, so I want to continue with that and tap in, and then build great new relationships with the LOCs, with the optometrists, and just build on it basically. I want to be their support network.
I don't think there is any typical day, actually. I like to think that I am as flexible as possible, so I will go where the business drives me. I do have set routes that I follow, but I like to think I'm proactive, should I say, to whatever the customers need. So my customer are the opticians and the GPs, and it's my job to facilitate their access to ACES and what we can make available to them. So yeah, a typical day is I will pick an area, I'll drive there and I'll visit those practices. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure that they trust you, basically.
My favourite thing about the role is going out and meeting new people and building new relationships, but it's also really rewarding when I'm in clinic and get to see the patients that are coming to us for treatment and the outstanding outcomes that they leave with.
I like to spread the word about what's available out there. One of the key motivating factors, I think, is that everybody does have the right to have good vision, whatever their background, whatever their age, and that should be made accessible to everybody.
My favourite thing most definitely is allowing people the ability to see what I can now see. It's one of the hardest things for us, I believe, is that we don't have a product to show someone. We only have an experience, a lifestyle that can be improved. So we have to sell something that is going to change their life without being able to show them before it's done. But then when you see them afterwards and they come to you and they can suddenly see the truth of what you've been trying to tell them every time that you've seen them, and they're smiling and knowing that their vision has just changed for the rest of their life. And it's almost like a told you so moment. So I think from my perspective, the nature of how much you can inspire other people to improve their life and how much you get out seeing the happiness in other people coming for it. There's so much, gratification that you can get from working for a company such as this that offers the kind of services that we do. There's nothing like optics. You can't take experience from anyone else to realise how much you can change someone's life. And to be able to walk away at the end of a work day knowing that you've changed someone's life.
So the ACES journey for our patients is once we've got sight of that referral, they are contacted within 17 minutes of us having sight of that. Once contacted, they're booked in for their pre-assessment, usually no longer than 2 weeks, and can have cataract treatment within as little as 4 weeks from us receiving that referral. Once they've had their cataract treatment with us, we do a telemedicine at 7 days. So this is really just key to check in with the patient, check everything's healing nicely. And this is something that our competitors don't do. So we really are taking the hand from the beginning and holding it all the way through to discharge.
So I think one of ACES' unique selling points is that we run a co-management scheme with our optical partners. So we provide a portal for them to record their post-op results on, and through that portal we can then give them the actual backing that they need or the confirmation that they need should they encounter any problems at post-op. And the other thing is that by recording those post-operative results, we can then reward them for their time. It also means that we're more in a partnership, so they feel that they are more with us on a one-to-one basis.
I think the most exciting thing about joining ACES is the way we look after the patients. And in those parts of the UK where you find it very difficult to get a hospital appointment, whether it's for cataracts, for glaucoma, for general ophthalmology, patients will be waiting for years, and we can see them in less than a week, get them treated in a few weeks' time. And just the level of care that I've seen being provided in our clinics, I mean, I would have my mother, my grandmother, or any of my relatives, I would happily have them treated in any of our clinics, because the way the patient being looked after is like their own relatives, and that's a fact. So the importance of taking care of these elderly, frail patients, to get up from the chair, have them scanned, and then, you know, giving them that level of comfort that they needed was beyond real. I mean, we're not only there for cataract surgery, we're there for everything that you require, and anything that any other, you know, service provider say, well, we don't want to deal with it, we will do it. Whether it's glaucoma, it's AMD, it's general ophthalmology, whether it's whatever the needs are. And I think one thing that I was really impressed with, that we call these patients in 17 minutes. And I've seen this with my own eyes. One of my uncle got treated, and I didn't tell him exactly what the process was, and I wanted to see how this done. But he had a comparison because his wife got treated from a different provider, and he had it done with us, and he could tell the difference. And he said, the way you've done these things, the way the patient care was, the way the surgeon spoke to me, I was not rushed, I was not another number, and every single question that I had was answered.
Even from, again, a personal perspective, my nan having it done through the NHS and waiting so long and watching to the point where she physically couldn't read a paper anymore and still having to wait. Unfortunately, before we had ACES and I was working for them, it would have been a completely different story. If I'd had the systems that we have in place now and the capabilities that we have, it would have been a very different outcome.
I think one of the advantages that ACES has over competitors is that we started as a company in the community. So 2 of my clinics are actually within GP surgeries. So they are definitely community clinics. And the reason people use us is because we're found within a GP practice, they're familiar with that GP practice, they go there for all their other health needs, and so we are just one extra arm of that NHS service that's available within that health practice. And I don't believe any other cataract provider or any other one of our competitors goes down to such a community level as we do. And in fact, it was due to that community level, by attending the Thetford Medical Centre, that I found out about the scheme that Norfolk were running for Wellness on Wheels. And I asked if ACES could become a part of participating in going on what they call the WOW bus. That's what the Wellness on Wheels stands for, the WOW bus. And actually then go into various centres where they park up and then they promote the service of what's available to the community. And that's what it's all about.
So I think what I really like about ACES is the type of service that we provide for the community. We have very short waiting times. For example, we can treat most of our patients within 1 to 4 weeks times, which is excellent. We can prevent accidents happening to the patients as well, and improve their lifestyle. Then secondly, I think is actually the most important is the outcome. There's very little complication rates. Opticians to do post-cataract assessments for patients after they had the cataract surgery. They will need a follow-up appointment where they don't really need to come back to our clinic to do that. So instead they can go to the community and they can have that examination at the practice that they have been referred from originally. We find that patients much rather to do that because they're more comfortable to go to the practice than to the opticians.
So for someone who's considering a career with ACES, I would say come and join a wonderful team. We're really focused on making a difference to our patients' lives, and if that's something that's of importance to you, then you'll be joining the right team.
I think ACES will be the only provider and the provider of choice for any ophthalmology services in the future. And the main reason is we are not in there for the money. The ACES objective was to support the NHS. And that's the ethos that we've taken from day one, is to support the NHS. It's not about how many patients we can grab, it's about how many patients we can help, whether it's cataracts, whether it's general ophthalmology, whether it's glaucoma, whether it's any other oculoplastics. So we are there for the long run. We're not here, we're not boom and bust. We are there for the long haul. So maybe it's a slow start for us for now, but I think the future is great and we'll be the last man standing. It's a very emotional piece for me because we are very, very passionate people. Whatever we do, and I hope it comes across when we talk to people and we speak to the team, is that we're genuinely interested in the care of our patients.